Honorable Clifford, I know you can hear me. This message is for you, your political party, and other politicians in this church. We understand that another election is approaching, and as usual, it is a season when politicians start behaving funny, thinking they are being smart. Brethren, why am I saying this? This morning, on my way to church, as I entered the church premises, I saw 2 cows tied to one of the solar poles in the compound. When I asked who brought them, I was told it was you, Honorable Clifford, that you said it was a gift from the state governor. My assistant also informed me that you dropped a check of 150 million naira, that the state governor is using it to support our church building project. Honorable Clifford, I will pardon you this time because I have not told you this before. Please let this be the first and the last time you will ever convey any gift or donation from the state governor to this church. I have told him several times that we do not need his donations here. Can't you see the conditions of the roads in his state? The governor is literally the worst governor in Nigeria as we speak, and yet he had the mind to donate 150 million naira to our church project. Please return the money to him and tell him to add more to it and pay the teachers he has been owing for 6 months. Sometimes I wonder if God forgot to give these evil politicians a heart when he created them. And secondly, please don't bring cows into this church premises to litter the environment. Tell him we don't need his money or his cows. Woe to any man of God who sits on the truth while Nigerians suffer, simply because the evil politicians tormenting the people happen to be his church members. We are supposed to be messengers of truth, but if you let greed make you deviate, be ready to face God with your explanations. This is Truth Assembly International, and I am Apostle Barnabas. Shalom.
I love this. Kai. Do we still have men of God like this in Nigeria? Wait. Are there still men of God like this? Are there still pastors like this in the world? What? I salute you, pastor. Please. Help me tag this pastor to this video. I love this pastor. From today, I want to look out for this kind of man of God. I want to be publishing his messages. This is a true man of God. Listen, how do you know a man of God? A man of God is one that speaks the truth without fear or favor. A governor donating, sending 2 cows to the church to appreciate the church. He told the honorable member that brought the cow, he said, please don't litter this compound they gave with cow. We don't need it. The governor dropped check of 150 million. He said, please take back his 150 million. We don't need it. Should add money to it and pay the teacher is owing. Teachers is owing the state. That he is the worst teacher. But meanwhile, the likes of the other one that called himself Prophet Bamidele, the other that called himself your Primate Ayodele, all those prophet of infrastructure, stomach infrastructure, they will be indirectly be singing the praises of these oppressed politicians. They will indirectly be singing the praises of these satanic, occultic people that Pablo Escobar is enforcing on people. Oh, I love it. Please let me speak a word of prayer for this pastor. If all men of God can be speaking like this, can be direct like this, can be this vocal, spilling that truth. Hey, Kabbalah. Hey, I know the church. I want to speak in tongue. Oh, yo. Pastor Barnabas, God will bless you. Pastor Barnabas, God will amplify your voice across the shores of Africa. Pastor Barnabas, you will reap the fruit of your labor. Hey, this one a man of God. Wait. Do we still have pastors like this? God said, it's in the book of Isaiah chapter 6. He said, behold, I sought for a man. No, not Isaiah. I think in Ezekiel chapter 6. Ezekiel. He said, behold, I sought for a man that will stand in the gap. As children of God's pastors, we are not only to stand in the gap in prayer. We are also to stand in the gap in speaking that truth. Isn't it the same today? You see oppressors, politicians who are oppressing the people. You see them dining with so-called men of God, laughing. And so the moment they drop altar, they drop tithe, they drop fat offering in their church, they'll twist their mouth. So many pastors today are worse than these evil, satanic, occultic politicians. So many of them. Can they please, let's make this video viral. Let's make this video go viral. I beg. Let's make this video go viral. If this, you have never shared any video on social media, please let this one be the first one you will share. Other men of God has got to learn like this. What? Many will say, I can't speak the truth. Imagine, he's in the state of the governor. He said he is the worst governor. Hey, yeah. In the state, is the worst governor of the state. He has not paid teachers. He's sending 150 to church. Now, you will wonder how many other, other pastors he may have sent to like this. I'm a pastor. I was pastor in Nigeria as well. I pastored in Nigeria before I came here. I understand all these things, how they work. When election is coming, they start acting like angels. Angel of light, where there be angels of darkness. Let there be. Now God will bless this pastor. God must bless you, pastor. God will bless you. He will bless your children. He will bless whatever you lay your hand to do. He will bless your children. Pastor, God will bless you. God will bless you. Please, if you not share this video, you dey commit sin. Thank you.
The only hope and confidence of the current ruling class to return in 2027 is electoral malpractice.
Yep.
If they know that the APC or the ruling party believes that they have the popularity to win elections, President Tinubu should come out and commit to electoral reform.
Is election buying at the top of it, or it's manipulating the system at the top of it?
It is a combination of all factors. Let me tell you, Nakulabo. Do you know that the chairman Senate Committee on INEC used to be Senator Sharafaddin Abiodun Ali from Oyo South Senatorial District? He was taken out of them when they started this issue of INEC electoral reform and all, and replaced with guess who? Yours truly, Senator Simon Bakula-Long, the former governor of Plateau State, who, by the way, incidentally, is the former DG of Tinubu's campaign in 2023. So while people are talking, including the late President Yar'Adua admitted that the elections that brought us are flawed, we want to improve on them. Unfortunately, he passed. Jonathan took it a step further and signed the 2010 or 2011 Electoral Act. President Tinubu is the only president in modern history who has never come out to talk about elections or the integrity of that process. But guess what? He claims to be a person who supported the June 12th mandate of MK Abiola, honoring even his late wife. Mr. Vincent, what was the foundation of June 12th? Free and fair elections.
Right.
When we did not even have this level of technology. So more than 30 years ago, Nigerians were able to elect a leader in a process that was seen to be seemingly free and fair. 30 years later, we cannot be able to organize an election, and the president cannot come out and say, I commit that one man, one vote, and the vote of the people will count. If you see that kind of mischief, the people must wake up and insist that our vote must count. It's Ghana. While the results are coming from the polling units, even radio stations call accurate results as are coming in through the electronic.
From the polling units?
Yes, from the polling units. Before the final collation, whoever that has lost knows and will even call the winner to congratulate.
Some will say that is a smaller country than Nigeria.
So, Nigeria, who is a bigger country, is it not a shame that we are not supposed to be a model to other democracies? We are not talking about innovating, adopting existing innovation. Ghana had independence 3 years or so before Nigeria. So we are the giant of Africa on electoral malpractice and rigging, and we cannot conduct a credible process. The words of some election observers in 2023, they said what they came to witness here was a crime watch. Imagine leadership that comes through a process that is criminality. How do you expect the country to move forward?
There's no legitimacy.
There is no legitimacy. Elections do not only give governance, they give legitimacy to government. If we fail to fix this issue of election, we'll be going around in circle. That is why a government will come in 2023, and less than a year into office, you begin campaign for the next election. So in Nigeria, there is no governance. It is politicking.
Yeah.
So that is the tragedy of Nigeria. If you fail to hold them accountable, they are back for another 4 years. You continue the lamentation. So there is a human aspect of this INEC where good people are supposed to stand up, but as much as we can, we must try to balance it up. Plug the loopholes in the law where necessary, and then mobilize to protect votes, because there is also the part of vote buying. You saw it during the by-election. In some places, vote buying has gone as high as 20,000. It is a mess we are in. The idea or the tragedy will be trying to even understand whether people should listen or why they are not listening. The question will be, why are they not listening, and what should the people do for them to listen? Because leadership should be about the people. Once there is a disconnect between the people and the leaders, then there is a problem. So for us to have had a system where we have people in government who are not ready to listen, there is a problem. That is what brings us to where we are today about this issue of elections, because Nigerians, we have been very angry about a lot of things that are going wrong. But unfortunately, you can be angry for 60 years and counting like we are, and you'll be taking the wrong choices.
I say that all the time.
Yes, so you can be angry and you are focusing on the wrong things. Because why? We have failed to pay attention to our leadership recruitment process. That is the most important aspect of nation building. So if the people who are there do not want to reform the system because it gives them the opportunity to hold on to power for the sake of power for themselves, the people must now wake up, unite, and assert themselves into the conversation and ensure that we get what we want in the best interest of all of us. Because guess what? There will be no better time. If those who are there are not listening now, if you give more time, more people who will not be ready to listen will find their way in through that crooked system. So the persons who are there must be pressure put on them for us to get the reforms that are needed.
Right. That's a very important point. But for us as a people to get involved into the process of amendment, constitutional amendment, whether it's election, judiciary reform, police reform, whatever it is, we have to be invited into the process.
Yes.
If we don't get invited, then we do it the way that, the way of the protest.
We invite ourselves.
We invite ourselves to get involved. But isn't that concerning when you have a people who are not even interested in inviting citizens at all?
It is not only alarming, it is a deliberate attempt. Vincent, democracies thrive when there is citizens' participation. The idea of democracy is a social contract between leaders and the people, that we will give you power to do something. If you fail to perform, we can take you out and bring other people. What we have today is the democratization of disenfranchisement, politics without the people, because they know that whether you vote or not, INEC can cook up results and announce a candidate. So if you allow that system to continue to stay, the people will continue to suffer. That is why whether they invite you, as we said, or not, the people must raise their voices, because everybody there represents a senatorial district, represents a constituency. So now, and those people come back during campaigns, or they come back at one point or the other, it is for us from the grassroots to mobilize and impress on everybody. Look, if you want to carry out electoral reforms in Nigeria today, you don't even need the people to be there. There are sufficient documents. Mr. Menkiti, INEC said there was a glitch in 2023. Do we know what caused the glitch? How should we not have further glitches moving forward? Why is nobody talking about that 2 years plus down that election? That is the mischief we are talking about. So because they are trying to be intelligent by half, the people must also rise up and decide to be.
Look, policies are just promises.
Yes.
As long as I'm concerned, public policies are just promises, and promises don't get you the reforms that you need.
Yes.
So when we have a situation where the upload of results to the IREV was a promise, it was not in the law, right? Isn't that part of the issue, that we need to have a situation where we have where we have a law that guides the electoral process, and not just what the INEC tells us that they are going to do? This
question is very, very apt and important, because that is the mischief and the very precarious situation we find ourselves. Electronic transmission of results was mentioned in the Electoral Act, but there is high-level mischief on the part of politicians and government, and that is why the issue of elections in Nigeria has taken a multifaceted approach. There is a judicial part of it. Section 60 subsection 5 talks about the presiding officer will transmit the results in a way and manner as prescribed by INEC. Now, did INEC prescribe a way? Yes. Paragraph 38 of the INEC guidelines talks clearly about electronic transmission of results. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu and his head of INEC voter education, Barrister Festus Okoye, traveled around the country telling Nigerians more than 100 times about why IREV was the game changer in that election. So, but when it happened and it went to the judiciary said it is not an omission to the Electoral Act. So even when INEC set guidelines for themselves, which are a law of the Electoral Act,
right,
the judiciary did not see any need to hold them to their own standards. Right. So there is a judicial technicality part of it, and there is an INEC part of it. So now everybody needs to focus on amending the necessary loopholes so that what is on the guidelines reflects on the Electoral Act, and also the part of the constitution that needs to be amended to supporting it, to ensure that electronic technology becomes part of the law, and then that server is protected in a whatever is a national or bipartisan basis, devoid of human interference. That is what Nigerians we have been asking for. That is what even our petition to the National Assembly talks about. But the National Assembly and politicians somehow, including INEC, are no longer mentioning electronic technology in the use of election, which was brought by after Professor Jega, the same Professor Mahmood, in an INEC position paper he wrote, talking about technology.
So I mean, let's slow down a little bit and then ask ourselves the question of, is INEC's independence a question? You know, in terms of, I listened to Barrister Femi Falana, where he said clearly that the foundation of electoral malpractices and all of the riggings that we have ever had in this country is because we don't have the INEC is attached to government house with a cord. Do you understand? They don't have enough independence to be able to make the correct decision. And then we have the WIAS, you know, the WIAS
Justice Wise report. Yes,
committee, you know, and one of the recommendations that they had was that we should have a situation where the position of INEC chairman should be publicly advertised, and then the judiciary should be the one to sit on the panel to interview these people to understand their perspective, and then select 3 best candidates and send to the president. The president can finally pick one person amongst it. Why hasn't this been visited by any government, including Goodluck Jonathan? He never visited it. He never tried to implement it.
Vincent, as beautiful as this may be and sound, let me be honest with you that the problem of elections is not just about laws. Good laws are as good as the people who implement them.
Right.
We have a human issue and a human perspective. Part of our recommendations to National Assembly is also the appointment of the INEC chairman not being the sole responsibility of the president. But let us be honest, between you and I, the best of man is man. Anybody can decide to be anything. Even if anybody decides to recommend the INEC chairman, or if you put it open for election, it will become another issue of electoral malpractice. It can. And if the person goes there, who releases the funds to running the institution? It is still government. So anybody can decide to say, I will pick the INEC chairman, and then the person who is providing the funds or resources will say, we will frustrate you until you bend to or dance to our tune. That is why the issue of technology became important, to reduce human interference as much as possible. Where from the INEC situation room, from the polling unit, all stakeholders, including political parties, have people involved. From voter registration as it is going on now, sanitizing the INEC voter register, to the transmission of those results. It was even suggested during their own INEC meeting on using bank technology, when it was now noticed that allegedly these beavers machines were also becoming equipments of criminality, to use immovable electronic devices. It is used in DRC, places like Senegal. How is in Ghana? While the results are coming from the polling units, even radio stations call accurate results as are coming in through the electronic.
From the polling units?
Yes, from the polling units. Before the final collation, whoever that has lost knows and will even call the winner to congratulate.
Some will say that it's a smaller country than Nigeria.
So Nigeria, who is a bigger country, is it not a shame that we are not supposed to be a model to other democracies? We are not talking about innovating, adopting existing innovation. Ghana had independence 3 years or so before Nigeria. So we are the giant of Africa on electoral malpractice and rigging, and we cannot conduct a credible process. The words of some election observers in 2023, they said what they came to witness here was a crime watch. Imagine leadership that comes through a process that is criminality. How do you expect the country to move forward?
There's no legitimacy.
There is no legitimacy. Elections do not only give governance, they give legitimacy to government. If we fail to fix this issue of election, we'll be going around in circle. That is why a government will come in 2023 and less than a year into office, you begin campaign for the next election. So in Nigeria, there is no governance, it is politicking.
Yeah.
So that is the tragedy of Nigeria. If you fail to hold them accountable, they are back for another 4 years. You continue the lamentation. So there is a human aspect of this INEC where good people are supposed to stand up, but as much as we can, we must try to balance it up, plug the loopholes in the law where necessary, and then mobilize to protect votes, because there is also the part of vote buying. You saw it during the by-election. In some places, vote buying has gone as high as 20,000. It is a mess we are in.
I mean, and you know, Yaga released a report.
Yeah.
Where they say that 2027 is going to be the most monetized elections ever.
Yes.
You know, given the way that this government is actually moving money, right? What is your response to that in respect of the fact that we are going to have new voters in 2027?
Yes.
Right? 60% of Nigerian voters, or maybe just a little bit under that, are young people. But then in 2019, we had about 40% of registered voters, you know, voting in the election.
Yeah.
In the last election, it was about 27%, right? So we have higher number of registration, but lower number of actually people who go to vote, right? Is it that people are losing confidence in the system, or voter apathy is spreading amongst young people?
It is not even just a matter of whether people are beginning to lose confidence. Nigeria do not believe in that process we call elections, those events we hold every year now and then. According to the INEC data in 2023, about 93 million people registered to vote.
Right.
87 million plus went to receive PVCs.
Right.
Less than 30 million people came out to vote.
Yeah.
Why did more than 50 million people go through the stress of registering, collecting PVC, and refusing to come out to vote?
Is it that their votes were not counted in the system, or they didn't actually come out?
I mean, from the INEC record, 50 million people above stayed away from the elections completely. Right. So the question is, in fact, more people came out to vote in elections that brought Shagari in 1979 than are coming to vote for a president than are coming out in 2023 to vote in Nigeria's election. Right. Because we have seen how progressively the elections are becoming more of a criminal event. And talking about what Yaga talked about, look, let me be very honest with you. The only hope and confidence of the current ruling class to return in 2027 is electoral malpractice. Yep. If they know that the APC or the ruling party believes that they have the popularity to win elections, President Tinubu should come out and commit to electoral reforms.
Is election buying at the top of it, or it's manipulating the system at the top of it?
It is a combination of all factors. Let me tell you, Nakulabo, do you know that the chairman Senate Committee on INEC used to be Senator Sharafadin Abiodun Ali from Oyo South Senatorial District? He was taken out of them when they started this issue of INEC electoral reform and all, and replaced with, guess who? Yours truly, Senator Simon Bakula Long, the former governor of Plateau State, who, by the way, incidentally, is the former DG of Tinubu's campaign in 2023. So why people are talking, including the late President Yar'Adua admitted that the elections that brought us are flawed. We want to improve on them. Unfortunately, he passed. Jonathan took it a step further and signed the 2010 or 2011 Electoral Act. President Tinubu is the only president in modern history who has never come out to talk about elections or the integrity of that process. But guess what? He claims to be a person who supported the June 12th mandate of MK Abiola, honoring even his late wife. Mr. Vincent, what was the foundation of June 12th? Free and fair elections.
Right.
When we did not even have this level of technology. So more than 30 years ago, Nigerians were able to elect a leader in a process that was seen to be seemingly free and fair. 30 years later, we cannot be able to organize an election, and the president cannot come out and say, I commit that one man, one vote, and the vote of the people will count. If you see that kind of mischief, the people must wake up and insist that our vote must count.